Welcome to PowerPlay, the subsystem for BGS, to make you more interested in the whole dealings. Or just make you more open for open play PvP. Either which case, if you want some great stuff, for example, you can pledge to Assling the Wall. A chem whore equivalent in politics, if you will, but get the greatest shields in the game, with the slowest regen. Or perhaps you want these cool missiles, the best weapons in the game, arguably speaking. In that case, pledge to this independent rat. Or perhaps you're into granny porn and have lost all self-respect, in which case you can pledge to Living Fossil Torval. And get fucking mining lasers? Well that sounds pretty nice. People must have loved it, right? Yes? Come on, tell the truth. Well, everyone hated it because you had to wait for 4 weeks to get the module in the first place, and your rank could be cut in half every week. Welcome to PowerPlay 2.0, and unlike all the internet's shitty rebrands, this is not. 4 weeks wait for module acquisition? Gone! Weekly merit and rank decreasement by half? Gone! 1 module per power? Gone! And as a bonus, more activities that reward merits. Also, additional manipulative weekly bonuses to make you form addictive habits. Well that sounds pretty cool. It sure is. Wait, hold on a second, what's the catch? Well, there are none. Come on, don't lie. It's a lot more grindy. There it is. Wait, how much more are we talking about? To reach the maximum rank, it's gonna take about 1 to 200 hours of pure gameplay time. What the fuck? Yes, the long-in-the-works key gameplay feature promised at the end of 2023 and shouted out at the end of 2024, after somebody spilled the coffee on the servers, probably. At the time, it was looking like one of the last feature updates for rapidly failing Odyssey of Elite Dangerous, even after the Targoid War could not keep up the attention of the leftover fanbase. However, in a shock twist, the simple feature remake turned out to be the biggest positive change to the game since 2018's exploration and mining update. This change hopefully proved to you and the dev team the truth of TheYamiks. Quality of life is far more important than any new jingling keys, meaning new content. And even with that said, this change is not without its failures, faults, bugs, and problems. And since I've been away after introduction of the paid ship packages, finally I too can jump in and take a look at what PowerPlay 2 has accomplished and why it was such a positive change for the game, albeit months after the release. Alright then, off the bat, let's start with the positives and leave the dead horse beating for later. First off, the biggest positive is the non-diminishing returns. As in, no longer on weekly basis your rank and merits will get slashed in half. Yes, you heard me right, the old system was just that punishing. In fact, my first ever critique video was about PowerPlay, which also blew up on Reddit back when I was just an up-and-coming creator in the community. There I laid out exactly the 3 main pain points of the old system, biggest of which was the bullshit merit point slashing in half each week. Honestly, it made it feel like the game was punishing you for just playing it, and like a sledgehammer hit to the crotch, it was! And just to put that crotch stomping in extra perspective, at the time, if you had the max rank, which you could reach by 10,000 merits, and if you decide to, God forbid, to do literally anything else but PowerPlay, or simply logged off for under 2 months, all your progress was gone when you returned. That's how bullshit it was. However, now with the PowerPlay 2, this no longer is the case. From now on, whatever merits you earn and rank according, no matter how inactive you are afterwards, you won't return to the game and find out that all your hard work is suddenly evaporated just because the designer decided to feel like a gigantic shit. And the good things keep on coming. The next and possibly the most fun positive of the rework is that now you can unlock all the PowerPlay modules, no matter which power you pledge to. And there are even extra bonuses for credits, some material stuff, and most importantly, some discounts or other modifiers. And finally, possibly the best quality of life change, no longer you need to be pledged for 4 fucking weeks to receive those modules! Jesus Christ, who thought that this was a good idea in the old system? Now, to simply be accepted as a true power supporter, all you need to do is complete all the weekly tasks from a single week and wait for the next week. Afterwards, whatever merits you earn for the next rank automatically gets applied and achieved. Now, basically put, in the new system, there's no more waiting, you unlock everything and even get some extra bonuses on top. This genuinely is a night and day difference that actually feels more like a personal progression than the personal narrative that is the tech broker bullshit. Now, let's say, if you, like me, don't care about the BGS or the PowerPlay powers doing their Galactic Lemon Party circle jerks for dominance, you're still given a reason to care regardless thanks to these goodies. But let's say that you are a weirdo that actually cares which power sits at the top of the background simulation-based stuff. Well, for you, the story is a bit fucky. Now, sure, you could say that the previous system for PowerPlay was such a piece of shit that even the turbo nerds didn't care for it. Now, for the 2.0, there seems to be more interest. However, that leads us into... Now, straight up, back in the day, developers hinted that the PowerPlay could be this living system where you could, maybe, potentially one of these days, knock out the lowest running powers and they could be exchanged for some other freedom fighter or whatever.
And you see, there's 10 of them at the moment.
Yeah.
That's not guaranteed to stay the same. And again, we'll probably come on to this in a little while.
Oh, the wedding barge.
Freedom Fighter. What's happened to freedom fighters? Well, there's still a concept that we're looking at considering. So freedom fighters are the ability to effectively pledge to a minor faction to kick out powers. It's pretty cool, I think. It's going to come after. It's going to come, again, it's a lower priority, but we like it.
Cool.
So, you know, who knows?
Well, guess what? It didn't materialize and neither does it exist in the current system. There really is no penalty or negative effect for being the first or the last in the power structure, so the system really feels ultimately static. Next up, and you know it's coming, like a razor-covered dildo, the open play only suggestion. That too is nowhere to be seen. Hell, not even bonuses for playing in open are existing. And maybe you're one of those confused Care Bears on the forums who is wondering, oh, why are people wanting PowerPlay to be open only? Well, take a look.
Player authored, and it's galactic-wide content, dynamic changing content. But importantly, most important of all, it allows consensual PvP. Okay, so that at its core of it, it's a way for players to work together in teams against other players in teams. And that's probably going to crop up a couple of times in the questions.
Well, by design principles, PowerPlay is designed to be PvP. Hell, even the quick glance over the bonuses will quickly hint at that. However, like sniveling man-children in their cowardice, developers retreated back to their gooner caves to be pegged by the higher-ups. And so the system that was designed to promote tribalism, competitiveness, and open play PvP, or just any kind of a PvP-based ass-raping, is still playable in solo or private modes for some godforsaken reason. Now, while I get it, if PowerPlay was open only, it would turn off about 95% of the player-based community. You know, the Mobius cowards and other Care Bears. But then again, who can blame them? Fact of the matter is, the game itself does not protect players enough, and the crime and punishment is inefficient to make open-only feature even viable. Still, even a fuckwit like me, who plays in solo mode out of the pure pragmatism, can't but to say, this really should have been open-only, and the game designers are cowards for not making it so. And I say that because, well, with solo and private, what the fuck is the point of PowerPlay outside of the personal gain otherwise? A glorified BGS where the biggest shitheads are botting and automating everything for cargo deliveries? Like, really? Is that the gameplay we want? At least with the open play, you got the chance to kick those assholes in the nuts a little bit. That is, until they combat log, and that's funny in of itself. And again, that's me saying it. And while we're on the topic of personal gain, the rubber and silicone implements offered for each rank are really cool. However, the biggest negative for majority of players for this system will be the grind just to unlock them. Now sure, no longer you're demoted like some sort of a gimp on a weekly basis, but fuck me are those rank requirements and merit farming slow as balls. And to give you perspective, now you can earn merits in more ways than ever. However, that only leaves you with about 4 to 5 different methods of farming those merits that are not completely waste of your time or insult to your intelligence. Rare goods trading nets you about 12,000 merits an hour. The Armstrong Moment Anarchy Settlement data gathering nets you about 20 to 40,000 merits an hour. Mining, about 15,000 merits up to maybe 40,000 an hour depending on the profits. However, you have to mine and sell in the exact same system. Yep, that's how dumb it is. Then there's of course special trading methods with fleet carrier and macro use, netting about 60,000 credits an hour, and extremely tedious and boring. And finally, you can go kill PowerPlay enemy ships at, say, Navbeacon or something, netting to about 20 to 40,000 an hour with some special requirements. So, do you see the pattern here? It's almost all trading, while bounty hunting itself is, for example, 5 to 8,000 merits an hour at best. And now let's take a look at the rank progression itself. You will need 775,000 merits to reach the last rank to unlock everything. And if you're a very smart meat sack, you'll realize very quickly that normally playing the game, hell, even grinding mining or rare goods trades, will net you about 19 hours minimum, or upwards more like 200 hours of non-stop gameplay hours to get that last rank. I want to kill myself! Oh, but that's not all. Let's put it in a Space Dad gameplay terms. You come home after your shit-ass job, boot up Elite Grinders, and sit there like a fucking chimp, grinding rocks or bleaching your eyeballs in hyperspace 2 to maybe 5 hours a day, and repeat that for solid 2 weeks. Every day. Minimum! Minimum! Now tell me, does that sound like a fun gameplay or a reason to play Elite? Yeah, I didn't think so. Now sure, grinding is not the worst thing in the world, although I would argue differently, but regardless, it certainly is not that fun, especially if you try to actually achieve something, hence this being the worst part about PowerPlay 2. Oh, and did I mention, exploration does grant you absolutely no merits. Yeah, that's great. So it's either combat or cargo, be it trading or mining, because those other missions and other activities are highly inefficient in comparison. And so if you're one of those, well, I'll be playing the game normally and having fun while I'm gathering those merits. Yeah, sure. Expect to reach then that max rank in about 500 if not 1000 of your fun play hours. Yeah, get the fuck out of here with your I'll play it my way. Yeah, good luck with that. Also, system itself was not bug free and plenty of bigger and smaller exploits and fuck ups slipped through, souring the taste for the update now in the long run. However, most hilariously, somebody found an exploit using the Armstrong Moment missions or using some Armstrong Moment nonsense, gathering merits and fucking up the PowerPlay system for the Sol system in of itself so far that the developers had to turn off PowerPlay in the system altogether until they fixed or banned the culprits. Honestly, I wish I was doing that. So then, in conclusion, while PowerPlay 2 has some bullshit coding and poor design choices, like selling individual cargo units actually netting more merits than selling in one batch, forcing players to implement fucking auto hotkey and macros, or that combat pay is shit compared to trading, or that exploration is not rewarded at all, or that once again PowerPlay is not open play, despite being designed as a system to encourage PvP. Really? The worst thing you can say about it is that it's just more grind. It's more stuff to do. It's a shitty, but still a reason to work towards something. And so after grinding out all those 100+ hours doing highly repetitive but at least efficient merit farms, you get cool modules and goodies. Now, like I said when this feature was updated, PowerPlay 2.0 is not good. It's not bad, it's above okay. So let's call it nice. But definitely not good. And yet this barely above okay feature, in contrast to what it replaced, is such a massive improvement that everyone took notice. This feature, you could say, rejuvenated the trust in the player base for the current dev team. This was the power of simply adding quality of life and improvements to the game and making gameplay better, rather than pumping out new, but ultimately meaningless content like the new FOMO and pay-to-win ships. Now, if only developers would understand the meaning behind their own move.